Hi there. Welcome to the HTM buddy build of the U.S.S. Reliant. My name is Ken with Ken's Hobby Bench.
I'm Jordan with the Line in the Stars.
And this week we're back to working on our 1537 Reliance.
You know, I realized that we've done more episodes than Will has. It's crazy. I even me, who's so far behind. I actually haven't caught the most recent video. Have you?
Of Will's?
Of Will's build, yeah.
Yeah, I did. He was, what was he doing in that episode? I'm trying to remember.
Oh
Sorry,
no, I
Will.
put you on the spot. I apologize about that. I think he was doing some repairs, if I'm not mistaken. I think he was mentioning that he needed to do some repairs.
Yes, he was having lighting issues that he had to try and sort out.
Yeah.
Some of his lights stopped working.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Like with this, like the equation is like like, are these all going to stand the test of time? How often are we going to light it up? Is it's one of those things where you need to light it up every so often to keep the LEDs going? Like eventually, some of these are going to burn out. Eventually, this model will
Yes.
not be lit up again, and so I guess that's the ultimate question, right? And so Will, thankfully, is in his position where he was able to kind of like fix the problem a little bit. And it's just one of those things that I think about with this whole entire system is it's like there are going to be so many LEDs between just the saucer section and then the. Why don't you go ahead and crack that saucer there, Ken? Show us your insides.
Ready for some spaghetti dinner?
Yes. My God. Just
And I have to put Raytheon somewhere over here yet.
yeah.
So,
And keep all those wires away from it too.
yes. But
Oh my.
once I start to shorten them, I think it'll start going a little bit better.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot of wires because there's a
Yeah.
lot of them that are different things.
Right.
Like strobe lights, nav lights, for me, Raytheon lights. What else do we have here? The impulse lights will be separate as well, and then you'll have your lights coming in from your nacelles and your weapons pods, and
Yeah.
so yeah, it's gonna be a lot.
It's gonna be a lot. It's
Yeah.
kind of crazy. So pretty fortunate that we're still got our models cracked open right now. We can repair anything, but yeah, I actually I dropped an episode this week, man. Like I actually got one done, and I actually have a plan for more. So, um, let's go ahead and get into what we did. Possibly what we did last week. I started, so I'll make it weird before I go. I did one side of my light boxes poorly, and I did the other side really nice.
I
So
enjoyed
those are
your
all.
episode.
Thank you. Everything turned out fairly well. The only things that I'll make note of is these corner light boxes. These ones, and just these window inserts in general for this little portion here. It's a little funny. You have to kind of like really line everything up properly. And these window boxes, they're printed straight, but they have to kind of slightly curve. And for me, I wound up kind of getting a little bit of a ridge around each side. So that's something to pay attention to. I definitely sanded the bottoms down, and so everything sits just slightly below. So everything's sitting in there real nice. Everything lights up real nice. So yeah, pretty pleased with how that turned out. I'm glad I actually got some work done this week. So, what about you? What'd you get done?
Well, last week I finished off basically doing my lighting in the rear of my shuttle bay area in the corners, and then I did the navigation lights, which has since have gone on and finished putting the other ones, the white ones, in the front, like I said I was going to do at the end of my video. So that's what I did last time.
Awesome. Well, what do you got in
Yeah.
store for this week?
Well, for this week, I'm going to carry on with the lighting. Actually, I just noticed one of my little fiber optic cables that I put in after the fact fell out. Not a big deal. I'll just UV glue another small piece in. But
Yep.
I've now gone ahead and put my two red lights here. They're going to be on either side of the impulse crystal. You'll see me doing that. And then I've actually gone ahead and glued in the actual shuttle bay on the rear of the ship now. So it is
Wow.
in place. I do need to go through and glue a little bit more to close up the little, seam just a little bit, but not much. So it went in there well.
Nice.
Yeah, so you'll see me do those things, and then hopefully I'll get my Raytheon light completed right there. And I'm trying to think what else we discussed that I said I was going to do. Oh, my light on the bottom here.
Oh yeah.
So this one will be blinking in sequence with the navigation lights.
Right. It's like
So
it's an amber colored light. So
yes. And then while Jordan and I were sitting here talking, I was using this little hole punching tool to punch little pieces of tape, and I discovered a 1.8 millimeter circular hole covers up these little side windows really, really well,
nice.
like perfectly. So that's what I've been doing right now.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
But
getting really close to paint.
yes, getting there. I've got all my additives now that I needed. So I couldn't remember last time what the other two additives are. One was Flow Aid, and the other one was these are both Flow Aids. Well, that's not good.
Oh.
No. The other one should be drying like a retarder.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah. So I'm actually gonna have to let Amazon know that they sent me two of the same thing.
Oh no.
Yeah.
It's a good thing you
So,
checked.
yes. But yeah, so one will be a retarder, the other one will be a flow aid type
Okay.
thing. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah. For me, the plan is to continue work on the lighting and the saucers. So I'm going to be getting. Currently, I've got over in my closet. I got some lights burning in. I got a cob light burning in. Basically, I've already got my RCS thrusters ready to go. So I'm going to put in the RCS thrusters. I'm going to have to deal with the fact that this model is poorly built, and the port side RCS thruster is a little slightly misaligned. We're either going to have to deal with that or I don't know. So there's that. Um, I think I'm going to deal with it. Yeah, so I'm going to work on getting the RCS thrusters taken care of, get the cob put in, wire up the planetary sensor for the LEDs down there. I was talking with Ken, and I think the plan is going to be to do a JST connector so I can go ahead and take care of all the lighting for it and then be able to disassemble it because on the bottom, you're going to want to paint the Aztecing all the way underneath here before you put the Aztec or before you put the planetary sensor on because you want to make sure that everything just kind of lines up properly. So that, and then I'm going to work on getting getting the lower crystal taken care of. And I'm going to attempt, if I have time, I'm going to go ahead and try to get all of the nav lights taken care of as well. So that an episode later, I can take care of all of this lighting and basically get caught up outside of like finishing work. So, got a plan to get to where we need to go. It's just going to be a little bit more soldering work and a lot more gluing. So, that's the plan for me.
Right on. That sounds
Yeah.
cool.
No, it's nice to actually get back into it. Too many damn models that I'm building, and unfortunately, like everything else takes time. And so, yeah, it was nice to be able to get done with it. Although you can see the evidence of me, and I was laughing with Ken about this. Um, I've been resorting to building models early in the morning now because, like, it's really the only time that I have to do it. It's the only time I have by myself. And basically, this is me first thing in the morning thinking and doing a poor job of thinking. Like, what was I thinking? And then 2 cups of coffee in, we have some logical wiring. So I don't just don't model on a tired brain. I guess that's the lesson for this week. I don't know.
That is some good advice though, to be honest.
It really is. Have a plan and practice. I lamented at the end of my episode that like I didn't want to redo it because I didn't want to go through and solder it again. And there's part of me that may still redo this. I don't know. Um, but just based on how it looks. But then again, it's wired up, it's sealed in. I don't know. I don't know, man. I'm just glad it's done. I'll just put it that way. We'll see if I want to do extra work when I've already done extra work on it. So, but yeah, no, it's it's been a good week. I'm glad to have gotten some work done, got an episode out, and let the world know that hey, Jordan is still building this thing.
Right on.
Wow. So I think do we have anything else that we need to go over with everybody before we head to the bench?
I think that's it.
All right. Well, my friend, I really look forward to seeing what you get done this week, and really can't wait to see like you're in the final steps of lighting, and that's really crazy. So I really can't wait to see how it all turns out. You're good.
And I can't wait to see what you get done on yours this week too.
Awesome. All right, my friend. We'll see you at the bench.
See you at the bench. Okay, here we are back at the bench, and I've gone through now and I've completed adding all my lights, and I've put in a little bit of fiber optic cable into each one just to ensure that we don't get paint down in there and ruin our lights. So, including 2 red lights here and here. Let's see if I can light those up for you here. So give me a moment and I'll be right back. All right, so here you can see the 2 red lights there lighting up. And again, like I said, they've got the little bit of fiber optic cable coming out. They will be trimmed down once painting is completed. But it does add that nice, those nice red lights there. Other lights I have to worry about now is I'm going to have to use my pin vise to hand drill its little holes just somewhere around here on each side, just to put in little lights there. I'm still trying to figure out what color they are. They don't look like they're red. They might be like a warm white. Oh, my one red light here keeps winking out. Let's see, make sure it didn't burn out. Is that one? There we go. There's that one. All right, so yeah, that's what I have to try and decide. Maybe I'll shoot a quick message off to Will, see what colors he's going with. But to me, looking at the footage, yeah, it's not the red that you see back here, and it's not the white that you see up here. So to me, it's, I don't know, maybe a warm white. So I can also talk to Jordan, see what he says. But yeah, that'll require a little bit of research to figure out what way I'm going to go with it. And it is going to be tight in here because I got to avoid my wires. But it's roughly in between these 2 bumps. So right here, you can see I'll probably miss my wires here, and I should be able to do the same right here. So there we have it. I still have that poor connection here. Anyway, yeah, these lights have all been burnt in the past, so I know that they do work. They just, for some reason, are having issues. So that's what I'll have to try and figure out, is which way I'm going to go with these 2 lights up here. Other lights to worry about is now it's going to be the Raytheon light on the inside. The crystal here I'll have to get burnt in. I'll solder a resistor on there, probably about a 150 or maybe even a 200, 220, something like that for this crystal. And then down on the bottom here, I have as well put the, again with the white light up, navigation light up here. So those are in place. And they also do have a little bit of fiber optic cable there. But I'm also going to have a light that goes in here that's in sync with these navigation lights. And it looks like it's a warm white as well. So that's what I'll be working on here, getting those in place. Now I can come in as well, and we'll take a look and see how we are making out with these light boxes I put on the back. Now you can see here that they're not going to interfere whatsoever with these light boxes back here. So I can, at this point, I should be safe. Now that I have these navigation lights put in, I should be safe to attach the rear shuttle bay deck area on the bottom. I will need to mask up the lights back here so that when we go to spray, I don't get any overspray on the crystals here. So yeah, that's things I can look at doing right now. So give me a few minutes here and we'll get some stuff together. All right, so here I have my uh, bipolar LED here for the blue and the amber, and I've actually resisted it to 220. I found that was a good level, and what I did is I actually sanded down the top of it. It was sitting really high, but I wanted it to sit pretty low. so into this part here. Now if you print out this light box here, it is only set for a 3mm, so I did have to increase its size to a 5mm because these bipolars that I could find were only 5mm. So there we have it. So it's got it connected to positive, and we connect one to negative, and there's our amber light, as you can see, looking really good. And disconnect that and reconnect our blue, and there we go, blue. So that'll give us what we need. We'll just put that in here, just like that, and we can install that back in here on the top of our ship for here for our crystal. Now I know Will did put a thin piece of styrene over top, so I might just do the same thing. Take a piece of my really thin, paper thin, I think it's 0.25mm sheet styrene, and put it over top, and actually go a little bit bigger around so that it's not, you know, trying to fit through the hole here, so that it is actually just sitting nicely in there. So that's what I can do, and I've bent the lights down at an angle, as you can see here, so that it's coming straight 90° out. So it shouldn't hopefully interfere with any of our lights for the rest of the impulse crystals at the back. So that's what we have here. So I'm going to go ahead and install that, and I'll show you what that looks like. Alright, so I took a piece of this thin sheet styrene here, and what I've done now is I put it down, put my part face down on top, and drew a circle with my pencil, but with the pencil parallel, or yeah, so it's exactly 90°. So I wasn't going to be in there close. I wanted it to be spaced out, so that's what I did. It's really spaced out, man. Anyway, so that's what I did. And now remember, because this is resin and this is styrene, they, you know, to me, extra thin won't work on that. So I'm just going to take some of my CA glue here and just run a bead around my resin piece here, just like that. And then just kind of center that up kind of best I can. There we go. I mean, alternatives, you could use some sort of lid to a pill container, which would be larger, but it'd still be fairly thin and get you in here. If you know, don't have access to a 3D printer. Yeah, just things to keep in mind. So that's already stuck down. Let's see how that's looking. There we go. And then that's going to go nicely under there, like that. So there we have it. I'll be able to now take this and center it best I can again on the bottom here. So again, taking my CA glue and applying it under here. Now, if I had been a little more concerned, I guess I could have sanded this resin out. You can see all the, at least I can, all the what do they call them? The support points where these were connected to how they were printed out, but that shouldn't make a difference really. It should still connect in there just fine. So we will click about like that. Let's put my light in there. just to make sure that we are having that centered up in there nicely. How's that looking? I think that's looking good. So there we have it. We'll let that dry. And we'll move on to our Raytheon effect, finally. All right, so here's what I'm looking at doing. I'm looking at taking 2 segments of my cob LEDs, these are the white ones, and putting the first one here, kind of lined up like that, so that we kind of get the lower down, and then a second strip higher up, like that. Now, one thing I need to be cognizant of is that the strip is actually going to be too thick at one point, right along in here. So something to keep in mind. I'm going to have to try and bend this as best I can. So let's try with some tweezers and see what we can do. See if we can bend this and still keep it working. So, if I can bend this, then I can just CA glue it. So that it would be something like down like that. Down low. I think that would work. So let's continue bending the first little bit here. Then I'm going to need, let's say about like that. Okay, now let's connect, now that we've done that, let's connect a positive and a negative and see if the whole thing still lights up or if that damaged it. Nope, the whole thing lights up. Doesn't seem to cause an issue, other than me missing my contacts here. There we go. So that doesn't seem to cause an issue. Yeah, so I think we have our solution there. That's what I'm going to do, just like that. And I think that'll be perfect. Now, to keep this from either folding forwards more or backwards more, I'm going to have to take some, I think, some thicker sheet styrene and back it. So that it doesn't move around. So I know I can't cut this edge off, because if I do that, then I know that's where all the electrics are. So I'm not going to do that. And then also to connect these, I think I'll do a little piece of styrene as well behind them to connect them. So let's do that first. Let's for that I'll probably just use this really thin sheet styrene here, this 0.25. So let's just cut off a little segment here like this, and like this, and we can attach our lights to it. Now, I'm not too worried about the permanence of the glued backing on these, because I'm not really using it much. Alright, so let's kind of center that up roughly. That still allows us to bend it like that. No issues there. And then we'll take the center of this, which is somewhere about here, and yes, okay, so we can remove this backing as well. Actually, you know what, let's finish let's finish the folding first. So I'll finish the folding. So we'll have to do it on this side next. Okay, so we've kind of got it folded. Double check that it still works. So positive and negative. Yeah, it still works. Okay. So now that we can know that we can do that. All right. There we go. Which is my bent down side, that is. Okay, so again, center is about here. So you'll take this, center it off. There we have it. Just like that. And then I can just use a couple small thin pieces of wire to connect this one to this one. Now for up in these areas, I want to use some thicker styrene sheet. So what I can do is just tack on a thick piece and then trim it down after. At least that's what I'm telling myself. So let's go with, we'll say about here. Like that. And we'll cut like that. And like that. How'd that turn out? I think that turned out good. And then we can even fold this piece around that styrene sheet. And so far so good. All right. So I think I'm going to end up trying to back this entire thing in styrene to kind of give it a way to hold in place. So again, let's go short of this part here, like that, kind of where our fold is. And again, we'll take our scissors and cut our sheet styrene. There we go. Like that. And now the rest of this back here, I'll just put some of this really thin sheet styrene just to kind of cover up that sticky back and you know, maybe give it a little bit more support. So something like this. Pardon me for not being on camera. So something like that. Yeah. And then we'll CA glue it together like that. Okay. Perfect. So that's all backed now. So that should give us what we need. Kind of a, yeah. So For down here, I think we'll CA glue it as well around this curve. Like that. So what I'll do is I'll get my CA out and I'll start gluing this up. Alright, so I have this all put together now. I have these bent over and kind of CA glued onto the sheet styrene. I've gone ahead and soldered my wires onto it using my Raytheon Effect wire colors that I've been using. So green for positive, blue for negative. So that's all my Raytheons all throughout the ship use that color scheme. So at least I'll know, what wires they are. And then when they all come in together, I can connect them all to the same color scheme. So that's what I have. I have the power coming in here on the bottom, and then I went and ran the positive across over to this top line, and then the negative around behind to the rear line. It probably wouldn't affect it, but I just didn't want to have any light or wires going over top of the lights. Oh, pardon me. So let's give it a test and see what we got. And that's looking good. That's looking really good. So that's what we're going to have. Something like that minus the wires running through it. So I am happy with that. So what we'll do, I'll figure out some way to get this temporarily pegged into place, probably with some white tack or something. And then we'll put on the top, and we'll see how our Raytheon is looking through the saucer here. So give me a minute to set that up, and we'll see how it looks. So here I have it temporarily tacked in place using some poster putty, but that is kind of our Raytheon effect there. So it is going to be toned down with the use of having our base color put on it and stuff. And hopefully I don't disconnect it. And there's our bottom Raytheon. I do like how it's kind of brighter and then fades, but it's still lit. So that is a nice effect. Oh, I disconnected. There we go. So same thing here. It's kind of brighter to the top and fades to down here. I think here at this corner, what I need to do is just move this corner, I think, just out a little bit more to maybe tone that down, yeah. And then I would do the same back here. And I think that does it really well. So I'm happy with that. That's our Raytheon effect. It looks like I need to tidy up my paint right in this area right in here on the inside. Sorry, I was off camera there. Maybe just a bit. Or I could just try to rely on when it comes time to painting the outside. Either or. I think my better bet is to work up from the inside for the Raytheon effect. We'll see how noticeable it is in here. Yeah, you can see where I need to just neaten that up a bit. So that's what I'll do. I'll do that, but I think we have the solution for our Raytheon effect, and that is our final Raytheon effect for this build. So that's all of them. I'm happy with them, so my plan is to keep them. Hopefully none of them ever burn out, but I'll keep them all on their own separate lighting channel so that they can be turned on separately. And yeah, we'll go from there. So what I'll need to do now is figure out some way to connect this in more permanently. Now, I'll show you this side here. Now you can see I am a fair ways out from my Raytheon effect to actually create that effect of not having too much of a good thing? No. For not having too much of the light being too bright. And then, oh, if I keep that on, there we go. On the bottom, it does the same thing. So it's still lights it really well. Oh, yeah, it came loose. Anyway, you get the idea. It lights it really well and keeps us from having too many hot spots. So what I'll do is I'll figure out some way to, there we go, not blinding you, to have this installed on a more permanent basis. Probably maybe some stock square styrene glued down, and then glued to the back of this styrene here that these are attached to. I think that might be the option. I mean, it only would have contact points just up here, and in this top area up here, and then something down here. But at the same time, we have to be aware that we have windows here we need to avoid. And then we also have these windows here, which are in the Raytheon effect, and they're going to be lit by the Raytheon effect at the same time. So, things to keep in mind. These lights, I mean, I think it's just the price you pay for what we're doing here, or at least in my case. I mean, if you do your Raytheon effect, maybe not as high up, you'd be better off. So, things to keep in mind. So, I'm going to figured a way to get this secured in place, and I'll come back and show you what I came up with. Alright, so what I've gone and done now is taken some, it's about 1/8 of an inch square styrene stock, and I've used some 15-minute epoxy to epoxy in a couple pieces just along here. At first I tried using a little less Tamiya extra thin, but I just wasn't confident enough on that would hold for a significant amount of time. I figured just better safe than sorry. Maybe the Tamiya extra thin would be fine, but instead I'm going to do this. Now I did attach it on the top because my top Raytheon effect is higher than the lower. So that way I know I am wide enough there, and I'm just going to push it back a little bit like that. So I am putting it what looks like upside down, because it is upside down like that. And now what I can do is now I can use the extra thin to glue styrene to styrene, the styrene on the back here to the styrene. And then if I want to, when I probably will, I'll come back with some 15-minute epoxy and secure this in place. So, I'll get my extra thin out. And we will. I'm going to let this hang back just a little bit. Not a whole lot, but a bit. Just that way this will hang back, you know, the back part here will curve far back. Because the bottom one does start a little further back than this top one does. So, let's put this like that. There we go. There we go. And just like that. Now this should weld the styrene to styrene, which is good. But yeah, I'll come in later with some 15-minute two-part epoxy. The same stuff I used right here, and I will secure that as well. Alright, so let that sit there and cure. Oh, see? It was holding, but yeah, better to be safe than sorry. This is, I guess, more of just a tacking job. Just to tack it in place temporarily for now. What I could do take a clamp. For those of you who really like clamps, you know who you are. I'll just make sure that's clamped into place like that. And then we'll take this side. Now, could use CA as well, but again, it's that whole, will it hold? And yeah, I'm sure CA would hold, but I'd rather give it a something I'm a little more I guess what's the word I'm looking for? Have a little bit more confidence in. And I think the two-part epoxy is the way to go. So I'll just let these sit like this for a few minutes. It should start to hold. So we'll give that a few minutes. Pardon me, I get a runny nose. You get that usually working with these solvent-based items. So I'll give that a few minutes to hold, and then I'll come in here with some two-part 15-minute epoxy here. So I'll be right back. All right, so there we have it. It's now been glued in with some Tamiya Extra Thin and a 15-minute epoxy. So in there, I'm happy with the way that is. Now we can take our other side here, and there we have our Reliant effect on the bottom and on the top. So I'm really happy with that, looking good. I did touch up that the side over here with the paint, so looking good. And I think we're ready to move on a little bit further. So the other thing I've done, like I said, I've gone around now and I've masked all my little RCS thrusters. I've gone and put little masking tapes in them, there and there. I know it's a little hard to see. Let me disconnect that, and then you can maybe see I've got little bits of Tamiya tape in there. I've gone and masked these windows off as well for the round ones. I still need to do the little square ones yet, and I will get to them. So we've got our light box here completed. We can glue in our bipolar light here. So again, let's take a look at that there, and let's see what this one is. Is this orange? No, that's blue, or amber, I should say, and that's amber. There we go. So there we have it. What I can do now is I can take a little CA glue here, or actually, you know what? I'll take a little bit of my UV resin. I'll UV resin that in place, and I think that's I think that might be close to getting to an end here. I think this is a blue light. Let me check. This is, and that's what I'm going to go with in here, down in here. I found the UV light was a little too, I'd say too dim. I didn't like the effect that it was having. So I'm going with a blue light in there. So what we can do is we can put a little bit of UV resin around each one. And what we'll do is we'll seal those in there. And I think we're going to call it an episode for this week. I was looking for an amber 3mm. I thought I had some. I just couldn't find any. So what I'll do is I'll go on Amazon and I will order one up. I mean, technically I could put a 5mm on the bottom there for the opposite of this on the bottom of the ship that flashes in sequence with the nav lights. So I could do that, but I think I'll just actually go ahead and order some 3mm. So, like I said, I'll take another look around the workshop here and see if maybe I have them mislabeled or something like that. That is possible. Make sure I discard my toothpick in the garbage. There's a story behind that, and if you're part of the HTM family, you'll know how readily one of these toothpicks can go right through your big toe and land you in the hospital, or at least the emergency room. So I'm going to finish off this week's episode here, just doing this UV. We'll come back next week. Hopefully I'll have my amber light for the bottom, for the flashing light there. I'm happy with the rest of the lights that we've got in now. They've all been test burned in, and they're ready to go. And we're getting to the point now where it's going to have to come down to organizing all the lights on the inside down to their core, what they're going to be, cut in the holes in the sides here, and run out the ends here to meet with what's going on the pylon. That way they can all be, once this is closed up, they can all be connected and shoved back through, because we're going to paint that all separate. So that's what we're going to look at working on here over the next coming weeks, is getting this all closed up so that we can get into paint. So again, I'd like to thank Cass over at Lake Monster Details. You can check out Cass on his site for all these great parts here. See if they're available yet in your area by the time you watch this video. He also offers the legacy parts of from Dawn's Light and Magic. He offers upgrades and decals for accuracy, special effects, and lighting. And I'd also like to put a shout out to Will's channel, the Ensign's Chair. Go check out Will. He created a lot of these parts here. And without him, I don't think we would have ever looked at building this kit for this buddy build. And then also check out Jordan at Aligning the Stars to see how he's made out this week. So thanks again for watching. You guys take care, and we'll see you next week. Bye for now. Hi there. Welcome to the HTM buddy build of the U.S.S. Okay, let's try that again. All right, I can't look. I can't wait to. Oh, I can't look. Wow. Sorry.